Hello folks, so today I'm going to be speaking about how to stop your oven door from jamming. There's plenty of videos online about how to replace the hinge on the oven door, remove the door, etc, etc. What if you want to prevent that hinge from jamming? So I had an issue a year or two ago with our oven door. Let me show you what we're dealing with. So this is the oven. It's an XR range. And what happened a year or two ago was that this hinge completely jammed shut, and there was something baking in there, and the oven was hot, and we needed to get it out. So I had no option but to force the door open. And what happened was it bent all of this black steel on the side and damaged the whole door, and I had to have the door replaced. The guy gave me a discount, but it was nearly $400. I think it's $500-600 new. And what had happened was this hinge had jammed. I'll show you a little bit later, but there's a roller that, as the door closes, there's a roller up in under here at the back that comes up over this shoulder and holds the door closed. And I think what had happened is that roller had got jammed and it wouldn't allow it to come over this shoulder. And it bent. I had to pull so hard that it bent the door. So here's the first tip. If your oven door gets stuck shut and you got a problem, don't force it open by just pulling like this. What you want to do is you want to kind of jiggle it. So pull it kind of like this. It's going to resist, and then try and increase the little jerks until it pops open. If you just pull it hard without going back and forth, you've got less chance of getting it open without damaging the door. So what about these hinges? So as I said, there's plenty of videos online about how to remove the hinge and whatnot. So I'm not going to go over that. You can find that online. What I'm going to show you now is how, once you've got that hinge out, how to do some maintenance on it so that it'll last a lot longer. Okay, so once you've got the hinge out of the oven door, you want to bring it down to somewhere where you can hold. You see this tang right here that sticks out, my little fingers touching it. You've got to be able to clamp that to hold it, because it works against this big spring at the top. So without the weight of the door, it's quite heavy to move. So what you're going to have to do is, I have mine set up with a vise, just with a piece of old towel over the top, so that I can jam this in here and then pull it back, like so. So there you go. Now what you need to do is you need to focus on greasing all of the moving parts. So you'll see down here on the corner, right here, it'll focus. You'll see that moving. There's a hinge right there, but the key part, the part that jams, is right down inside. Let me turn the light on here for a second. And if you look in there, see that roller at the back? See how it touches this bottom, this piece underneath? There's a roller all the way down in the middle of the screen right there at the back. And what that does is that rolls over the shoulder of this piece right here. It rolls over that shoulder right there, and that's what holds the door closed. So it comes up like this. I don't know if I can catch this, and then the roller hits that shoulder right there, that raised piece that you can see just here on the corner, and it rolls over there, and that's what holds the door closed, and that's what tends to jam. And there's two areas. So you've got the roller in the back there, but you'll see, if you watch on the side here, when I move it, see how this pin moves up and down. This one right here again next to my finger. See how it moves up and down. It's the same the other side, obviously, because this is like a little shaft that goes through that holds that roller. Those have got to move freely. If those get jammed, or if the roller stops rotating in there, That's what tends to jam the door closed. So it'll go like that, it'll click, and then it's not going to come back. So you've got to basically like grease up everything that moves in here, anything that looks like a hinge. Put some grease on there, and also focus on this area here where this piece slides up and down on both sides, and on the roller. That's where you really got to focus. As far as grease, you want something that's a high temperature. I use this, which is, I have it for an old vehicle that I have. It's a high temperature disc brake wheel bearing grease, but you really basically need a high temperature bearing grease, because then when the oven heats up, all of this grease is not just going to run out, it's going to stay there. So look for a high temperature grease. And what I usually do is I use a brush here. I got this in a set of like a kid's set from Target. There were like 8 or 10 pieces for like $5. It was a bargain. So I'll just dip it in the grease and then take the hinge here, lever it back and shove the brush down in there all the way back onto the roller when I've got it like halfway back, and put a lot of grease there. And then I'll go on the side with grease on the end of the thing and shove it in there so it's on the edge of the roller, and then work this hinge up and down, back and forth to work it in. If you can't be bothered with all this, or you just want like a quick solution that's going to help your hinge last longer before it locks up, what you can also do is you can just open your oven door, and I'll show you later, but you can, once you've got the oven door open, you'll be able to see this side of the hinge right here. And what you can do is when it's open, when this tang is down, you can access like through in underneath, just above where this tongue sticks out. And what you can do then is you could just spray in there. And what I recommend is something like this, like a silicone lubricant. You can get this from any auto parts store, or probably a Lowe's or a Home Depot. And what you can do is you can just obviously shake the can up and just spray some in underneath and above, back up. See this mini spring like in this little window here? That's the spring that holds this roller down that goes over the tang. So you just need to, like, once you've got this tang pulled down, spray some of the silicone lube up under there. If you do that every 3-4 months, that'll help. And that might prevent you from having to take these hinges out. So here we are with the hinges back on and the door back on, just to show you what I mean about the lubrication. What you want to do is you want to take, if you want to do the regular, like every few months with the silicone, what I recommend you do is, first of all, you've got to, most of them come with like a little straw that you can put into the nozzle. So you need to put that in the nozzle first, ideally. And then once you have it in like this, shake it up. And then where you've got to focus is you've got to get behind there and up. Because if you remember, the roller is kind of up in this area, kind of at above where the hinge sits. So you've got to get that in. You could bend this straw like around the corner. You've got to get it in under like this, back there, and spray, and try and get a reasonable amount. Obviously you don't want it running out, but get some spray in up under there. I've just greased this, so I'm not going to actually spray it, but you get the idea. You got to get up in the back there where the roller is with a little straw, give it a couple of sprays, and then check. And then, of course, while you're using the oven, just keep an eye on the fact, be very sensitive to the fact that if the hinge is feeling a little bit stiff, take action as soon as possible, because if it jams shut, you could be paying for a whole new door. So there we go. Good luck, and thanks for watching.